been ready. What are we waiting for?
You've seen the Grizzlies jamming on the court and rocking out on Beale Street, and this is your chance to join the best drumline in the NBA. Grizzlies entertains Grizz Nation at home games and events in the Mid-South through their impressive techniques and energetic shows. If you have experience in drumming and marching and love entertaining, Grizzlies is the perfect opportunity for you to combine percussion and performance. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Sign up today by visiting grizzlies.com/auditions.
Speaking of Adidas, are these the Harden 10s?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I guess so.
From what
You guys don't sound too excited. It kind of looks like when you flush the toilet in the water.
Yeah, it's like a whirlpool.
Like a
I
whirlpool.
want to be phone positive. Yeah. Want to be phone positive.
Or artists just making some paint up and they just
Looks like phone positive material.
Yeah, or a
Yeah,
thumbprint.
like-
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish, speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you're ready for the FedEx St. Jude Championship because it's finally here. It's golf week in Memphis, Tennessee. Most of the best golfers in the world are going to be here, including world number one, Scottie Scheffler. That's the good news. Bad news, we did get confirmation this weekend. Not the biggest surprise in the world, but still disappointing. Roy McIlroy, one of the best golfers of all time, most famous golfers of all time, is going to skip the FESJC. He is prioritizing rest and family time over Memphis and heat and humidity and St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. I don't blame him. I understand it, but still not ideal. We'll talk through it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, about 20 minutes, I'm going to be joined by Michael Eaves. He, of course, works for ESPN. He hosts Sports Center, and he's been out a little bit lately. You might have noticed, not because he's taking summer vacation so much as he had double knee replacement surgery. Are you aware of this, Big Bet Bennett?
I am, yes.
Michael Eaves had double knee replacement surgery, and that sounds awful, right? But he texted me yesterday. He said, I think I'm feeling better. I think I'm going to be ready to go. So we'll see how Michael Eaves is doing. He's going to join me in about 15 minutes. We'll talk about a number of things, including Luka Dončić, big contract extension with the Los Angeles Lakers. When we finish talking to Michael Eaves, we'll take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, the Grizzlies black classic jerseys are reportedly returning next season. We'll show them. I like them. We'll show them to you. We'll do that in about 40 minutes. Blazer star Damian Lillard is the new general manager of Weber State's basketball program. We'll try to figure out what that means. We'll do it in just a bit. Khabib Nurmagomedov, you know this guy.
That was close.
Help me,
That was
Bennett.
close. Nurmagomedov. Believe that's the correct pronunciation. You were close.
He was talking this week. You remember him. He retired as an undefeated champion in UFC. Used to beat up Conor McGregor all the time.
Yes.
And then sometimes
twice.
he'd get done beating him up. Then he'd try to beat up anybody who worked with Conor McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all I know about this fella. He was talking in New York this weekend after retiring as an undefeated UFC legend. And Conor McGregor came up, and you know what he said? He said, everything Conor McGregor is going through lately, it's punishment. But Allah will forgive him. He's offered Allah to forgive Conor McGregor. These two guys, you think they ever hit each other again?
No.
Bennett says they're never going to hit each other again, but I've been watching combat sports long enough to know you can never say never. We'll talk about all this. We'll do it. I'll share his words with you. We'll do that in just a bit. Mariner star Julio Rodriguez did something this weekend that no other player in MLB history has ever done. I'll tell you what that was. We'll do that in the second hour. And the first two-night SummerSlam took place this weekend at MetLife Stadium in the shadows of New York City. Seth Rollins provided the surprise on night one. Brock Lesnar was the surprise on night two. I'll get Bennett's thoughts on SummerSlam. We'll do it during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's Carryout. We'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with the FedEx St. Jude Championship because it's here. 2025 FESJC is finally here. Most of the participants from the PGA Tour are either already in town or on their way to Memphis. We're going to have practice rounds today, tomorrow, Wednesday. First round set for Thursday. Final round set for Sunday. And at some point on Sunday evening, because this is the way golf tournaments typically work, a champion will be crowned on the 18th green at TPC Southwind, and we already know it will not be Roy McIlroy because it was confirmed, and this is the big news hook of the weekend, it was confirmed that the world's number 2 ranked player is not going to play in this year's FESJC, more or less because not playing should have no real bearing on whether or not he wins the FedEx Cup, which is supposedly the entire point of the FedEx playoffs. So how about that? Turns out it's now completely unnecessary to play in the FedEx St. Jude Championship, even if your goal is to win the FedEx Cup. That's not great for Memphis or the tournament. Big Bet Bennett, here's my first question for you.
Okay.
Is that a flaw in the system when you don't have to play in the FedEx St. Jude Championship in the shadows of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital? You don't have to play here to eventually be crowned the FedEx Cup champion. You think that's a flaw?
It sounds like a flaw to me. It sounds like a flaw to me.
It has the characteristics of a flaw.
Yeah, I mean, I saw his quotes, and he basically said, I came in dead last year, and it didn't affect me at all. So I basically, in essence, saying there's really no point in me playing in it because of how well that I've done, right? But I would. That's something that I might look into changing. I mean, it is the playoff, right? It's the FedEx Cup playoffs.
So for people who don't understand, and you're exactly right, Roy had mentioned this in an interview at some point. I played in Memphis last year, stunk, and it really didn't impact me in any real way. And that was last year. You should know, if you don't, this year it matters even less than it mattered last year. And I'll explain why in a second. But first, let me be clear about a few things. None of this is completely new, like we're referencing. That's the first thing you need to know. This is not completely new to the sport. It's different, but not completely new. Secondly, this development as it pertains strictly to Roy McIlroy, not really a surprise because he had hinted, if not strongly suggested previously, that he might do this. And then the third thing is, I don't blame, I want to be clear about this, Roy McIlroy at all for doing what he's doing because he's merely doing what's best for him, given the system in place, and prioritizing rest and family time over the chance to win millions of dollars in Memphis, in part because he already has more millions of dollars than he should probably ever be able to spend. So those are 3 things that I think are important to note. This isn't that new. Mm-hmm. It's a new twist, but not out of nowhere. It's not that surprising, and I don't really blame Roy. Now, let me explain to you what's happening here. Yes, the FedEx playoffs have forever offered a path to be FedEx Cup champion without playing in Memphis. But in the past, as recently as last year, at least theoretically, not playing in Memphis or even not performing well in Memphis could cost you. Maybe not a lot, but it could cost you because in years past, the more points you had entering the Tour Championship, the better starting position you got in the Tour Championship. So if you were number 1 in points, like say a Scottie Scheffler, you were going to have an advantage once the Tour Championship started because you would start at a different number than quite literally everybody behind you. So not playing in Memphis might cost you points and therefore could cost you a starting position. Might not cost you a lot, but it would cost you something. as recently again as last year, it could cost you something not playing in Memphis or not playing well in Memphis in terms of points or strokes. Now it literally costs you nothing except possibly money, as long as not playing in Memphis won't cost you access to the Tour Championship. And for a player like Roy McIlroy, it obviously won't. And that's because, unlike in years past, again, all 30 players who qualify for the Tour Championship will start at even par. Doesn't matter whether you're first in points, 15 in points, or 30th in points. Everybody starts at even par at the Tour Championship. So if you're already guaranteed to qualify for that event, like Rory, and already worth hundreds of millions of dollars, like Rory, and thus willing to pass on the chance to win another $3.6 million for first place at Southwind, like Rory clearly is, then passing on Memphis makes some sense. Like, I get it. But it still stinks. And it still feels like, yeah, I agree with you, a flaw in the system on some level. Now, I have heard some compare it to like the NFL playoffs or the college football playoffs, where the top seeds do get buys through the first round. In other words, if you turn on last year, the first round of the NFL playoffs, because that's what Memphis is. It's the first round of the FedEx Cup playoffs. If you turn on the first round of the NFL playoffs, you know, people will say, well, you didn't see the Kansas City Chiefs, you know, because they were the 1 seed in the AFC. So if the Kansas City Chiefs don't have to play in the first round of the NFL playoffs, like, who cares if Roy McIlroy doesn't play in the first round of the FedEx Cup playoffs? Is that a fair point, Bennett? You take that point?
I reject that point.
You reject it?
Yeah, I reject that point because this is like, I guess what I'm trying to say is those are like individual games. This is the whole thing right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't look at like a golf tournament as like an individual game in the playoffs. It's a little more separate. I think that it's...
I think it's apples to oranges. I agree with you.
Yeah,
I think it's apples to oranges. Here's why. The NFL playoffs are designed a certain way, with buys as a part of them. Same thing with the college football playoff. Buys are a part of it. It's designed that way. So from the jump, the Chiefs, the Eagles, all the fans, all the media, everybody in the world who cares knows if you finish first in the AFC, you will get a bye.
Yeah, they're playing for that all season.
You're playing for that all season.
Yeah.
College football playoffs, whenever they figure out what the new format will be, it'll be defined clearly, and we'll know, because there's expected to be buys involved in that. There certainly was last year. That if you finish here, or here, you get a bye in the first round. You do not play in the first round. It's understood from the jump. That is not the way the PGA Tour markets this event. That is not the way they market the FedEx Cup playoffs.
No, it's the top golfers in the world.
They say the top 70 make it to Memphis. Like, that's been the slogan in recent times. And the top 70 make it to Memphis. Will Scotty Scheffler make it to Memphis? Will Justin Thomas make it to Memphis? Will Jordan Spieth make it to Memphis? The implication is, if you are top 70 in the world, you make it to Memphis.
Got there, yeah.
Woohoo! Congratulations! Now you're on to Memphis. Except that's not accurate. That's not an accurate campaign, given what we're watching happen right now. You know what the truth is? The top 70 in points, you know what they do? They don't make it to Memphis. They qualify for Memphis if they want to go. That's what this is. It's not like the Chiefs can finish with the best record in the AFC and then opt out of the first round of the playoffs because they don't think it's worth their time, because they're going to get to the second round of the playoffs, or in this case, the third round, last round of the playoffs, automatically. If you want to try to do apples and apples, think about it this way. If there was a path for the Chiefs to still end up in the Super Bowl without ever playing a playoff game before the Super Bowl, and they just said, well, if we're just going to end up in the Super Bowl anyway, tied 0-0 when we started, well, we'll just skip all this other stuff and go straight to the Super Bowl. That is more or less what Roy McIlroy is doing, at least as it pertains to Memphis. It's unclear whether he'll skip the next event. Probably won't. But in theory, you could if you wanted to. If you had so many points built up, you could if you wanted to. And that's a flaw in the system. It'd be one thing if it's designed that way. If they said the top 60 players, 11 through 60 advance to Memphis, and the top 10 advance past Memphis, and they don't even have to show up in Memphis. That's part of the design. Well, that's one thing. That's how you design NFL playoffs. That's how you design the college football playoffs. and any other playoff structure that has buys in it. That's how you design that. That's not the way this is supposed to be designed. This is just a fundamental flaw in the system that most people, I should be clear, won't take advantage of. All right? Rory McIlroy is the only big-name PGA Tour golfer qualified for Memphis who isn't going to be in Memphis, injuries notwithstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these guys are still going to be here. You want to know why? It's an opportunity to play golf for 4 days and maybe make $3.6 million
right.
for your trouble if you win the whole thing. Beyond that, some guys are trying to stay in the top 50, then stay in the top 30. So the majority of the people you're going to see out at Southwind, they are playing because they're still chasing something or because they feel an obligation to the PGA Tour or because they don't want to pass on the opportunity to play golf for life-changing money or out of some commitment to the hospital. There's a million reasons the men you're going to see out there are going to be out there. And some of them are more selfish than others. But most people are still going to have reasons to be out there. Rory doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the points. He seems less enthusiastic about, quote, going to bat for the PGA Tour because I feel like he feels like he got undercut by the PGA Tour a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to be the
That's
face of it in the fight with Liv. Like, oh, yeah, on a different time, maybe 3 years ago, before you guys went behind my back and started negotiating with Liv, when I'm up here taking bullets every week, you guys are negotiating behind my back with Liv? Yeah, I was willing to go out there and be the face of this thing, really work for you, show up where I needed to show up. But, nah, you burned me. So I'm less enthusiastic about that than I used to be. So you throw all that. Does he need the points? No. Does he need the money? No. Does he feel compelled to be the face of the PGA Tour anymore? No, not after the way they've undercut him the way they did. Then this is not surprising. And again, I don't blame him. But I do think it's a flaw in the system.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is, it's kind of cool to go out to TPC Southwind annually and, see most of the best golfers in the world. But also very specifically, that's the guy that just won the green jacket.
Yep.
That's the guy that just won the Masters. In some years it's Hideki. In other years it's Jordan Spieth. This year it's supposed to be Rory McIlroy. He just won the Masters. He had sort of reached the pinnacle of the things he was trying to accomplish in this sport. It'd be cool if we could go out there this week and, if nothing else, take our kids out there and be like, yeah, that's him. That's one of the best to ever do it. And we're going to be able to do that with other people. Scotty Scheffler's going to be there. Again, most of the best golfers in the world are going to be there. But it would be nice if the Master champ was there.
Yep.
It would be nice if Rory McIlroy was there. As we now know, confirmation this weekend, he's not going to be. I understand his decision. I don't blame him. If I were him, I might do the exact same thing under these exact set of circumstances. But it still kind of stinks. So we'll hope to see him out at TPC Southwind again, perhaps in 2026. And in the meantime, we'll just focus on the golfers who are there. Among them, the world number one, Scotty Scheffler. Michael Eaves is up next.
Let's check the over-under totals. Alabama, Georgia, and Texas all at 9.5. LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee at 8.5.
I love Ole Miss over the 8.5. I think Ole Miss can win 9.
But Ole Miss, they're gonna, Ole Miss, they're gonna lose to Arkansas week.
But they could go 9-3. Like Ole Miss winning 10 games
they always
is always
pull some crap like that.
Ole Miss winning 10 can seem a bit of a stretch, but they can win 9.
They're gonna lose at Kentucky week 2.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Have you always dreamed of entertaining on the biggest stage in Memphis? The Claw Crew is looking for members to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. Claw Crew members are hardworking, high-energy entertainers who assist Grizzlies home games by hyping up the crowd and much more. Not only do they support the Grizzlies on home games, but also promote in Memphis and across the Mid-South. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information and to register today.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
The NBA announced their Dunk of the Year yesterday. It was voted on by the fans, and it went to Ja Morant for his double clutch through Porzingis and Derek White. The call of it was excellent. That game we hung on to for a long time last season, but it was a spectacular dunk.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Parrish Show presented by Ortho South. I'm in the Bill Ford Tough studio, and on Mondays in the second segment, I'm joined by Michael Eaves, who of course works for ESPN. He hosts Sports Center, and if you haven't seen him so much lately, as not as often as you used to, that's because he's been recovering from. This is wild. Double knee replacement surgery. Michael Eaves, it's good to see your face. I tell you, when I was a young man, I had ACL surgery, and I thought that was hell. That's obviously nothing compared to what you're going through right now. First, let me ask you, how are you? How you been?
You're right. It is nothing compared to what I just underwent last Wednesday for sure. And I've had 4 knee surgeries, Gary. I've had 2 ACLs and then 2 cleanups, going back to my first one in high school, second was in college, and then 2 cleanups as an adult. So I know what the knee surgery process is like, and including the rehab. And the rehab is always the hardest part of it, more than the surgery itself. But this is different because I don't have a good leg to stand on, right? Because they're both repaired. But the pain that I have dealt with through this is some of the worst pain I've ever experienced over an extended period of time, right? Like that, like we've all had like pains where we fall in, or some of us may have broken, bones, or been punctured with something as a kid or something like that. That very acute pain, it hurts, but it lasts, for only so much, and then it becomes like sore. This pain is different, and it lasts for hours. And the worst part of it is at night, because like once you go to rest is when your body really starts to heal, right? Your brain's not distracted by other things. So it's like, oh, we chilling? All right, let's send everything to the knees and try to get this thing back to what it is. And that's when the pain really kicks in. And it's been excruciating at times. Like during the day, I'm pretty good, but it's the nighttime that's crazy. I actually made this joke on social media the other day, the very first night that it really hit, because when you go for this type of surgery, you get a nerve blocker and you get an epidural, in addition to the anesthesia. But eventually that stuff wears off, and then you're going to find out where the real pain is. That first night that really hit, it was Friday, so it was 2 nights after my surgery. I made a joke that had given me a saw. Said, Eaves, if you cut your knee off, you won't feel the pain anymore. I may have considered doing it, yes, because it was literally the worst pain I've ever had in my life. And this has also given me so much more respect for women go through pregnancy without an epidural. Those women are warriors, dog. And I have a very high tolerance for pain. I do. But this is different. It was to be expected. But again, the reality hits you, and it hits you pretty hard.
Talk to me about this, and then we'll move on, because I think if any of us live long enough, we're going to have to make decisions like this, where you go, okay, I guess I can get through today, but like this, I don't like feeling this way, and I can go have this procedure done, and it's going to set me back 6 months, 9 months, a year, but at least I won't have to live the rest of my life feeling this way because it'll only get worse. Like, honestly, I'm having this conversation with myself right now about my eyesight. It is getting progressively worse, and I'm really at a point where I'm like, I should just go get LASIK and not squint the rest of my life, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. How do you balance those things against, I can get through my day feeling this way, seeing this way, but long term, I need to just go ahead and get this done so I'll have a better life going forward?
Well, it is about quality of life. It really is. And quite honestly, I've been dealing with daily knee pain for decades. I mean, decades. My knees hurt every single day, and I just function around them. And that includes, trying to work out, which is harder to do, especially when it comes to legs, but still playing golf and walking all the time, but they hurt after, but I just suck at it because that's what I want to do. And I knew eventually that I was going to have a replacement done. Like my last surgery, my surgeon, this is probably 13, 14 years ago, said you're going to have them replaced at some point. And back then it was like, put it off as long as you can because the technology gets better. And back then, if you got one, there's a pretty good chance you have to do it again, right? Well, the technology to the point now, Gary, where my surgeon who just did both of my knees said that my knees should last 50 years. Okay. I'm 53. I'm not going to last 50 years. So I shouldn't have to go through this again. So that had a lot to do with it. And the reason people are like, why would you do both at the same time? That's crazy. And you know what? Some surgeons won't perform what's called bilateral knee replacement surgery, 2 at the same time. I wanted to have one procedure, rehab. I want to have to go back and do this again 6-8 weeks later with another surgery and another rehab on top of it. If I could get it done and be done with, that was my goal. And so again, this pain that I'm going through is something I accepted because once this thing is over and I won't have pain in my knees anymore, pay whatever it was for that because I've been dealing with it for so long.
Right. Well, I'm glad to see you doing better, man. I know it's a tough process, but you've been through similar things. You'll get through this one as well. Let me ask you about a golf story that has sort of come up in this market. It was a national story when it was confirmed on Friday afternoon, but it resonates more here. Rory McIlroy is going to skip the FedEx St. Jude Championship, more or less because the system in place doesn't punish him for skipping this event at all. For the first time in a while, by the time we get to the Tour Championship, everybody's going to start at even par. There's no advantages to having more points than anybody else in the top 30. Rory is going to qualify for that, and so he is just prioritizing rest, family time, over the opportunity to win another trophy, to win $3+ million because he has hundreds of millions of dollars. Is that and I want to be clear, I don't blame Rory McIlroy at all. If I were him, I might do the exact same thing he's doing. But is it a flaw in the system where you don't have to play in the FedEx St. Jude Championship to 3 weeks later win the FedEx Cup?
Flaw may be a bit of a strong word. It's a disappointment because if you're going to have a 3-week stretch of playoffs, you want all the players competing as the tour. Like I understand why you would want that, but at the same time, it's almost impossible, Gary, I believe, to come up with a system that would present the best player at the end of it and require everyone to play all 3 events. I just don't know what that is because they've tinkered with this thing for 2 decades now, right? And they just can't get it to where everyone has to play each event. And the thing about Rory, and here's the deal, this is not new. He said last year he wasn't going to do it because I think he came to Memphis last year and I think he finished, 68th or 67th out of a 70-man field, and he dropped 1 spot in the standing. So for him, it really wasn't worth it. So he knew he was going to miss it. He was scaling back his schedule for 25, and he did miss some other tournaments that he usually plays as well. And I know for Memphis that you want to see him, but let me ask you this. If he had not won the Masters this year, see him as bad. Right. But because he did win the Masters, now you want to see him. But he had already had this in place before he did that. So I understand why some fans are disappointed, but this was his plan from the very beginning. And ultimately, for the PGA Tour standpoint and the FedEx Cup, and granted, FedEx is right there in Memphis, so I get that teamwork situation there. you want to see the best player by the time you get to the Tour Championship. And if he is trying to win the Tour Championship and he thinks taking the week off, then that's going to be the best thing for him. And if Rory McIlroy or Scottie Scheffler or someone of that ranking wins the FedEx Cup, that's all that's going to matter to the PGA Tour and FedEx.
It's an interesting time in golf because not only, has Scottie Scheffler elevated himself to a different place, Roy McIlroy finally got his Masters, but there's an Apple TV Plus comedy series called Stick, starring Owen Wilson, that prominently features professional golfers. Happy Gilmore 2 is the biggest Netflix American release in history. And from Scottie Scheffler to Roy McIlroy to Xander Schauffele to Justin Thomas, they're all prominently featured. And does it have any impact on just the fame of professional golfers? I do have a sense that my kids are going to go out there this week and they're going to recognize somebody from Happy Gilmore 2 that they otherwise might not have been that familiar with. Can this stuff help the sport?
Yes, absolutely. I would say at this point in time, professional golfers collectively are the most popular they have ever been in the history of the sport.
Yeah.
Now, Arnold Palmer was immensely popular. Bobby Jones, Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods. There have been certain players that were extremely popular, but the overall depth of the PGA Tour has never been more popular than it is right now. And it is about social media and Netflix and the things that is available now that these players can put themselves out there, or fans can find them in some capacity, whether it's YouTube, like I said, Netflix with Full Swing, Instagram, Twitter. Max Homa was huge on Twitter. Bryson DeChambeau is huge now on YouTube. All those things together, more people know more about golfers now than they probably ever have in the history of the sport.
Switching gears, Luka Dončić made headlines this weekend, agrees to a lucrative contract extension with the Los Angeles Lakers. This comes after a week of public appearances and magazine covers where it's pretty clear he has shed some weight and is looking as good as he's ever looked as a professional athlete. Is this the way this story is going to go? He's going to be in the best shape of his life and then in LA have an MVP caliber season that just sort of reminds everybody why it was short-sighted for Dallas to give up on such a generational talent?
See, I look at it completely different, Gary. I don't think it was short-sighted by Dallas. All right. So if he is with us and he wants to win a championship, why wasn't he in that shape when he was with us? We have to leave him, push him away. Why do we have to break up with him in order for him to then be motivated to get in the best shape of his life and try to win a championship with someone else? We were the ones who drafted him. We were the one who gave him this culture here. Why was he not giving us his best? Instead, he gave it to his new girl, basically. If you think about it from a relationship standpoint.
Oh, and aren't there a million relationships exactly like that?
Exactly. But that's my point.
Yes.
That's my point. Why did you not give me, if I'm the Mavericks, Nico Harrison, or the owners at the time, why didn't you give me that version of you? Because we loved you. We did everything for you, and you did not return that love to us in the same capacity. Instead, we had to, for our own sake, because we didn't think you were going to be better for us in our future, we had to part ways. And then all of a sudden, you turn around, and out of revenge or spite or whatever, you get into the best shape of your career to show us the mistake that we made. No, the mistake was yours because you didn't give us that type of dedication.
Right.
I don't know why people are like, oh, the Mavericks made a huge mistake. What if they hadn't done this? Certain that Luka Dončić would be the guy today that he is right now? There was no indication prior to that he would be doing what he is now to the Lakers. And the thing that motivated him the most was, A, broke up with him and he didn't expect to get broken up with.
That's right.
Number two, he goes and plays alongside LeBron James, who's twice his age and was in 2 times better shape. That was not going to happen in Dallas. So the real thing should be on Luka. Why did it take all of this for you to be the best version of yourself?
Right.
Because the true greats aren't motivated like that, Gary. Michael Jordan wasn't motivated like that. Tiger Woods wasn't motivated like that. Jeter wasn't motivated like that. Luka Dončić, for whatever reason, had to be motivated by the disappointment of someone leaving him and then going to somewhere else and seeing a man twice his age being in better shape than him. That's what led to this position.
I agree with every point of that. My argument in terms of short-sighted would be before we surprise him and the entire world with a trade out of nowhere, is it possible to sit down with him and make this point? Like, yo, man, we don't think this is going to work moving forward. If rather than just get out of here, you're somebody else's weight problem, make one last ditch attempt, and perhaps they did whatever they thought they could do, but make it clear.
How does that conversation go, Gary? How does it go? Hey, if you don't lose weight and get better shape, we're trading you at the deadline.
Yeah, something like that.
No, because, how does that affect the first half of the season?
Yeah.
Not very well.
Right.
And then he's like, oh, how dare you? You won't trade me. I'm your franchise player.
Right.
Like there was the only way, and here's the thing. I do believe that there were things done, just sent by the Mavericks and team personnel to try to get Luka to steer a certain way, right? And even if it's as small as that one video we saw after that playoff game where Luka was drinking that beer and Michael Finley casually came by, took the beer out of his hand and kept walking, right? Even little stuff like that is an indication that they were trying to make him understand there's a certain way to be a champion and to be great in this league. And if he wasn't following it with his own people and the trainers coming in and out, all the kind of stuff, they were like, you know what? The only way we can guarantee that we're going to have something of value is to trade the most valuable thing we have. And here's the deal. Look at Dallas now.
Yeah.
If Kyrie comes back healthy, as he should, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson seems to be rejuvenated, especially with Meg Thee Stallion in his corner now, and Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. If you're a Dallas Mavericks fan, you have till right now before this season starts, you have no reason to be mad, and I wouldn't be worried about what Luka does with Dallas with LA. Because again, if I'm a Mavericks fan, Luka, why didn't you do all that stuff for us, dog? We loved you first.
It's never boring in Dallas. The Cowboys creating big headlines over the past few days with Micah Parsons very publicly stating he wants to be moved out of Dallas and that he's made his trade request known to the organization. Jerry Jones responded with, don't pay attention, no big deal. How is all this going to work out? Because it has gotten publicly pretty ugly.
It has, and I feel like we go through this every year with somebody.
Yeah.
Whether it's Dak, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons. Here's the thing about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is an owner personified. And what I mean by that is he loves being in charge of everything. Right. And that's why, as an owner, he's also the president, GM, whatever the hell else title he wants to give himself. He wants to control everything. And you know what he also wants to control? Other people's money. Yeah. He knows Micah Parsons is deserving of that extension to whatever that maximum deal could be. He knows it. But he wants to do it on his terms. Pay that man when he wants to pay that man. And after a while, that gets old, man. Right? And if you are some of those former players in Dallas and you look back, it's like, you never had to go through that. You know who never had to go through that? So why is Micah Parsons having to go through it? Why did Dak Prescott have to go through it? They're equally as good as those players, if not better. So why are they having to go through it? All because this man wants to determine when these guys get the money that they deserve. And after a while, it starts to rub you the wrong way. And for Micah Parsons, you know, this is business. But if you say certain things publicly, it's personal. You feel like, Gary, that you are not wanted or valued somewhere, why would you want to stay there? And then for some people, it's like, you can say all that stuff in public, but oh man, here's your money, man. We were just talking. No, we weren't just talking. You were talking. You were talking about me. I take it personally. So why would I want to play for you after you go out there and treat me that way publicly?
Last thing before I let you go, we got big news this weekend. For the first time ever, the paperwork is now filed here in Memphis. An In-N-Out franchise is coming to Poplar Avenue. As a man like yourself who has lived in California, I'm assuming you've consumed In-N-Out. Is it properly rated, overrated, or underrated on a national scale?
So here's the deal. The burgers are phenomenal. I think In-N-Out burgers are best burgers you can get at anything that's considered fast food, right? Their fries are trash. Okay. So don't go expecting great fries. You're going for the double with cheese. That's what you really want. Now, if you want to get your fries animal style and get the sauce on top of it, that's a different type of thing. But for me, their fries are not crispy enough, right? I think the best combination you can get is an In-N-Out double with cheese and Cajun fries from Five Guys. That's the perfect one if you can get it. They have Five Guys in Memphis?
Oh, yeah, we got Five Guys. Yes.
All right, so here's what you do. Get your In-N-Out burger and then go to Five Guys and get your fries, and then you'll be happy.
All right, that's it. Sounds maybe not the best use of my time, but
it's not. But the meal will be worth it. The meal will be worth it.
Man, it's good to talk to you. It's good to see your face. I'm glad you're feeling better. You're gonna, like I texted you, you're gonna be glad you went through this process, even if I know it's hell in the meantime. So keep doing what you're doing, and I'll talk to you next week.
Take care, brother.
All right, brother. I'll see you. Bye. That's Michael Eaves from ESPN. He's on Twitter at Michael Eaves. On Twitter at Michael Eaves. Bennett, you've consumed In-N-Out before, yes or no?
Yeah, I have. When we went to LA, I guess it was almost 2 years ago now. I hit up Five Guys for the first time. It was amazing. I cannot believe.
You mean In-N-Out?
What did I say?
You said Five Guys.
That's because he said it, but I meant In-N-Out. Yeah. And I'm just beyond ecstatic that we're getting one in my neck of the woods. I mean, this is my In-N-Out.
It's going to be yours.
I honestly think that I'm part of the reason that this happened.
You taking credit?
I tooted the horn for In-N-Out as the voice of East Memphis. And I think that the people that are in charge of that area really heard the cries and said, "Hey, let's do that. Like this guy knows what he's talking about."
Thank you on behalf of East Memphis.
Yep.
I say thank you. It will be in Poplar, on Poplar in East Memphis, at the site of what is currently a convenience store, I believe.
I think that's right. Yeah,
right.
Poplar and Estate is where we're going.
So we have to get rid of that.
Yep.
Throw up an In-N-Out. I love In-N-Out.
I can't wait.
Here's what I find to be true.
I don't think their fries are that bad. I agree with I agree with you.
Michael Eaves had a good assessment of In-N-Out. That's a proper assessment. I love In-N-Out. Been having it for years. It's like a staple when you go to Vegas or go to LA.
Yeah.
Like my favorite. I don't have rules. But like one of the things I wouldn't mind doing, fly out to Las Vegas. You can have you can either dabble a little bit in the Sky Club here at Memphis International before you get on your plane, but then try not to eat a big meal on the way there, so that once you land, get off the plane in Vegas, you can go straight to In-N-Out before you check into your hotel. There's an In-N-Out right over there by UNLV. Think close to where Tupac got shot. All right.
Yep. And
swing through there, grab In-N-Out. First meal in Vegas, In-N-Out. Now let's go to the room. And let's have a trip. That's the way I like to do it.
Pretty good.
I like an In-N-Out. But here's what I found to be true. We get things like this every once in a while. Five Guys is coming to Memphis for the first time.
This is different. Yeah, go ahead.
Cane's is coming to Memphis for the first time. There's another one, a little hamburger spot that everybody got real excited about.
Was it, a hamburger spot? Whataburger? Was it Whataburger?
Maybe Whataburger.
It's probably Whataburger. Yeah.
Here's what I find to be true. We get news about this thing's coming.
Yep.
We get excited about it. The first day, there's lines out to the street. Second day, same type of thing. And then give it 6 months. Outside of a Chick-fil-A, nobody cares anymore.
See, I disagree on this one. And the reason being is because all of those other ones, you can get those within a 2-hour drive anywhere, or 2-hour drive almost anywhere around the South. Like the Whataburgers, the Cane's, the Bojangles, the what's another one that opened recently? Anyways, this you can only get on the west, like past Texas, right? It's like Texas and further west, at least for now. I
got it.
And so the fact that we're getting one out here, I think it's a bigger deal.
It won't actually change your life in any way whatsoever.
It'll change. Your
life's not going to change that much.
I'm not so sure, man. You've had that burger.
I have had the burger. Animal style. I like animal style. I'll be honest. I do enjoy a good animal style.
It really is the best fast food burger. He's not wrong. It just is.
It's great.
Yeah, it just is.
It's great. But I'll go there once, and then I'll never go there again.
I think I'm going to try to be a regular. I mean, I want, as someone who helped bring it here, I'd like to show my face quite often.
You should be, and you should do that. I find the only exception to this rule is Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A if you get a Chick-fil-A in your neighborhood and you didn't previously have one,
it's going to be busy forever.
It's just that is a changing thing. That's where your kids are going to ask you to go. That's where you're going to go. You're going to end up at a Chick-fil-A a lot.
Yeah.
But the other ones, I just think they arrive, we make a big deal out of it, and then they just whatever. Whataburger is a great example. They put a Whataburger, I think it's a Whataburger, right next to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Right next to my wife's store. And it was like, oh, everybody's excited about Whataburger.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. We've been once. We've been once. My kids have never asked me to go back. We drive by it every day. We've never thought, they say all the time, we hit Chick-fil-A? Sure. They never have brought up Whataburger again.
Yeah.
Me and Lou went to Canes. We got a new Raising Canes.
Yeah.
Down in South Haven.
I need to go get by there.
We did. Lou and I went one day. I think I brought him up here, and then we left here, and I was like, let's go get lunch. And I was like, where you want to go? He said, he actually said, everybody thinks I've had Canes, but if I'm being honest, I haven't. And I said, this is something.
We got to fix this, dude.
I said, this is something that's come up in your life at 8?
Yeah.
Whether or not you've had Canes or not? He's like, people think I've had it, but I haven't. And I was like, well, why do people think you've had Canes? He said, because I swear this whole conversation we had. He said, because remember when we went to Dallas to see the Mets? I said, yeah. He said, remember we ordered Canes back to the hotel that night, the first night we got there? And I said, yeah, I think so. We got to the hotel. Everybody was tired. Nobody wanted to go get something to eat, but you guys were hungry. So we ordered Canes. That's right. I do remember that. He's like, yeah, but I fell asleep before the food got there. I said, yeah, okay. He's like, so ever since then, people have been walking around acting like I've had Canes, but I haven't.
He's been living a lie.
He's been living a lie.
Yeah.
He's been living
Good
a
on
lie.
you correcting that. Yeah.
And I said, well, I didn't know this was weighing on you in this way.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was burdening you. So we could fix this right now. Let's go to Canes right now. So that from this point forward, whenever it comes up again, if anybody's like, Lou, you ever had Canes? You'll be able to answer honestly, yes, I have. And so we went to Canes. And you want my official review? It was fine. It felt like Zaxby's.
They do seem very similar.
It felt like
it's like the exact same menu.
It felt like I could have gone to Zaxby's. And I was like, why is everybody so fired up? Like Zaxby's been...
Because we didn't have it.
Yeah. But here's my thing. I don't think we care about Canes anymore. I think it's already over. I think it's come and gone. Chick-fil-A changes your neighborhood. I submit nothing else does in terms of fast food. Everything else we get excited about, and then it's just there. I stand on that.
I think this is going to transcend that a little bit. I do. Unless they start just popping up everywhere. And I've heard that they're moving like their entire business to Tennessee. So,
but here's another one. Like Hattie B's. Hattie B's came here, right?
Yes.
I know there's an anti-Nashville sentiment, but I like a Hattie B's, buddy.
I do too. I actually still hit up that Hattie B's. The one over there at Cooper Young. Yeah. I hit that up on the way home sometimes.
Oh, buddy, I used to go.
That's good stuff.
That's good stuff.
That is good chicken. I mean, I just got to call it like it is. That's good chicken.
Sometimes
dude.
you have to call it like it is.
Yes.
It's just good chicken.
It's Nashville's chicken, but I like it.
Nashville, I got my issues with Nashville, but not with Nashville's chicken.
Nah, they got
not with
chicken.
their chicken.
Yeah.
So
I'd put our chicken above their chicken, though, by the way.
Well, who you running up against Hattie B's?
I mean, I'd put Uncle Lou's anything up against Hattie B's, and I'd win that 9 out of 10 times.
Me and Oliver went to Uncle Lou's new location.
Yeah.
They moved off of Mill Branch.
Yep.
So we went and checked that out a few weekends ago.
I would put Uncle Lou's.
We're doing our part to take in the chicken around the Memphis area.
I would put Uncle Lou's up against any Nashville hot chicken any day. And I know two different things, but I'm just saying I would win that fight.
I'm not here to besmirch Uncle Lou's.
Yeah.
I love Uncle Lou's. I love Uncle Lou's restaurant, and I love Lou's specifically.
Yes.
All right? So Hattie B's is a great example. I was excited about Hattie B's. They actually have one at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. So, this is very normal for me. Fly to Las Vegas, get to In-N-Out, and then the next day, I'm grabbing Hattie B's for lunch, right? Love Hattie B's. So, they get a Hattie B's in Memphis. I was like, I'm fired up for this.
Yeah.
I love Hattie B's. I love chicken. And then I went another time, and that's it. I'm done with it. It just hadn't gone back, Some of it is like what part of town. I realize different parts of town I work in. We used to work in East Memphis. You and I did, Bennett. You remember that?
Yes.
And so I would eat over there all the time.
Yep.
And now I'm just never over there. Just never over there. I have no idea what's going on over there.
I can tell you everything you need to know.
Has anything changed?
What happened to my backyard burger that I used to like over there on Park?
I believe they have reopened. I believe we're back open for business over there.
Well, that's good to hear.
I don't know what was like the deal with backyard burgers. Like they all closed for a minute.
I looked around one day. I couldn't find a backyard burger anywhere.
I think that one's back open again though. And we demolished that little flying saucer looking building across the street that had the pizza place, the Mellow Mushroom.
Oh yeah.
And we're building something over there. I think we're actually doing a chicken place over there.
Yeah, I like chicken, so that's fine.
I think it might be a Bojangles or something like that.
You're gonna have a hard time finding a chicken I don't like.
Yeah, no, things are good. Things are good.
That's good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
I like to consider myself the unofficial mayor of East Memphis.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm comfortable with you considering yourself that.
Yeah.
It's fine with me. So here's what I think. I'm happy In-N-Out's coming. I'm going to grab an In-N-Out burger when it's here. And then I think we'll just get back to our regularly scheduled lives. I don't think it's going to change the trajectory of our city the way others seem to suggest. But I'd rather have one than not.
Yeah.
I'd rather have one than not.
Me too.
All right.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Hey, when we come back, the Grizzlies are going to wear their Memphis black classic jerseys this upcoming season, reportedly. Do you remember what they look like? If not, we'll show them to you next. We'll celebrate them next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
What is the biggest Summer League accomplishment so far for this Grizzlies team?
Tuomas Isalo filling out his coaching staff. The Ryan Saunders hiring was essential. It was big time. You have a veteran NBA voice there.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
You get to the main event, and you hear the crowd. There's some rumblings in the crowd.
Here we go.
They say, "We want truth."
I love how John Cena said when they were chanting, "We want truth." You can't handle the truth.
There you go.
I loved it.
He takes the knee off, boom. Takes the mask off, boom. And it's our freaking truth. God, man, he cost John Cena the match.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
The black classic uniforms are coming back, Bennett. They're making a return for the 2025-26 season, reportedly. Have you seen these? Do you like these?
Okay, so I
Look at
have
that. That's Ja Morant, by the way.
I have that jersey.
Okay, Bennett.
Like the I have that, but they did bring these back not that long ago, but I guess this is like a different So there's something different that makes this one more special that Devin was trying to explain to me, because I have this jersey, the Ja Morant, the black classic jersey.
Should have used you in the promo then.
I know I should have worn it today.
Should have worn it today.
But no, this is my favorite Grizzlies jersey by far. Like, it's not even close.
Unpopular opinion.
Don't do it.
No, I like this fine.
Yeah.
You know what I like?
What?
I like the red.
The Memphis Sounds, I like those too. Those are great. I completely agree.
I
with
like
that.
the red with
those
the
are
little
great.
hint of the baby blue Grizzlies Beale Street blue.
Yeah,
that red with that hint of that
those are
blue.
great. I agree.
like that.
Those are great jerseys. I completely
like
agree.
that.
This one is my favorite. The black with the Memphis on it, and
I
that
like the
color
big bold
scheme.
Memphis.
Yeah, I love this jersey. I think it's going to do massive numbers.
I like red. I like the color red.
Yep.
I'd be open if somebody said, "Hey, what do you think about this being red?" I'd be open to that.
Mm-hmm.
I like red. All right. Perhaps I only like it as an alternative color, but I like the red. I like that. The only thing I'm fundamentally against, or the main thing I'm against, anything that says Vancouver. I just don't want anything that says Vancouver.
I get that.
I'm not anti-Vancouver. I'm not anti-Canada, but I am anti-Vancouver on Memphis Grizzlies bodies.
I mean, as someone who rocks Houston Oilers gear all the time because the Titans keep putting out throwback stuff.
Do Titans fans like that or hate that?
Well, see, I feel like I can wear that proudly because I became a fan in '97 when they were the Tennessee Oilers here for one season, and so we when I became a fan of the team, we used that logo and that color scheme. So whatever, I can wear that stuff proudly.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. I don't mind the Vancouver stuff either. But I prefer that branded as Memphis like this is, right?
Here's what I like. Yeah. I like people turning on TNT. The Grizzlies are on. And when they see Ja Morant or Jaren Jackson Jr. or, Zach Edey, they see Memphis or Grizzlies. I don't like them seeing Vancouver.
Yeah, I get that.
We stole that team fair and square.
Fair enough.
We stole that franchise fair and square. That's ours.
Yeah, OKC's not wearing Seattle Supersonics throwbacks.
I mean, they might someday, but if they do, I'll hold my hand up and say if I were a Thunder fan, I wouldn't like that. And since I am a Thunder fan, I will hold my hand up and say I don't like that.
Gross.
Thunder up.
Yikes. No, this is gonna sell like crazy. These are great.
They look great.
They're great.
I like the big Memphis.
Mm-hmm. And I think you can incorporate some of the old footage from the old original teams when you do some of your hype videos and stuff.
Why don't we leave the marketing to the marketing department? Why don't we just focus on pushing our little buttons and leave the marketing to the marketing department? All right.
Yeah.
But I think we can both agree we like this.
Yes.
We like the way
I will get another one.
That's
sure.
a nice picture of Ja Morant.
Yeah.
That's a nice uniform.
I already got the Ja one, but I'm gonna get a different one. I'll probably get I don't have a Jaren jersey. I need a Jaren jersey.
What are my kids supposed to do with their Desmond Bain jerseys? Have you thought about that yet?
No. Jersey culture has changed completely. Yes, having random old jerseys is the cool thing to do, right?
I'm very comfortable wearing a Mets Jacob deGrom shirt because he will go down in history as an all-time great Met. That won't be any different. Dwight Gooden didn't finish his career with the Mets. Darryl Strawberry didn't finish his career with the Mets. Jacob deGrom will be an all-time great Met. I'm comfortable with that. Yeah. But then I've also got a Michael Conforto shirt. What am I supposed to do with that?
Well, I think you just wear them. I don't think it's a big deal anymore because, for instance, 6-7 years ago, a Patrick Ewing Orlando Magic jersey, people might make fun of you for wearing that. Now it'd be cool if you have a Patrick Ewing Orlando Magic jersey. Be like, where'd you get that? How do you get?
So my kids can still rock their Desmond Bain stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
All right,
for sure.
All right. Well, then they will.
Yeah,
then they will.
Yeah, I think they should.
I like it.
Proudly.
This is 2 thumbs up from us.
2 thumbs way up. I'm excited about these.
Yep.
Number 2.
Damian Lillard has announced he's the new general manager of Weber State's men's basketball program. Bennett, do you know what that means? Because even as somebody who covers college basketball, I don't have any idea what this really means.
So this is happening everywhere now.
Yeah, Steph Curry's at Davidson and Dave Lillard's at Weber State.
Yep.
And this is happening a lot of places right now.
So, I mean, I would just assume I don't think he's going to be he is off this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
he got some time on his hands.
He's got some time. But I don't know if it means that he's going to be hands-on like every day, you know, in his office, like doing stuff with the basketball program. It probably means he's like helping fund the program, right?
On some level, certainly.
In a above board kind of way, right?
Well, I mean, everything's above board now as long as you do it through the proper channels. But can Damian Lillard throw money at Weber State and make a difference? Yes. I see headlines like this, and then I see people react to them in two different ways. One is they go, "Oh, isn't this awesome?" And then you go, "I guess," but then what does it mean? And they go, "Oh, you don't really know what it means." But it's sort of out of hand, like, that's awesome. And then the other reaction is like, "Yeah, but what does this even mean? Who cares? It's just stupid. He just put his name on something." And I sort of fall somewhere in the middle. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think this is like hiring an NBA general manager or an NFL general manager. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I do think it is a device that allows NBA superstars, in some cases, to reconnect with their college programs and be a part of it in some sort of meaningful, tangible way. And like, that's not the worst thing in the world. That's kind of cool. Like
it's
Steph
really
Curry,
cool.
Steph Curry having a feeling like he's a part of Davidson again, and Damian Lillard feeling like he's a part of Weber State again. Like, I don't know what it means exactly, but I can't imagine there's anything bad about it. If nothing else, there's going to be a time where Steph Curry is back in the gym at Davidson, and like those players are going to be around that, feel that. Same thing at Weber State. And I know this is how it works at other places, and how it could theoretically work here. You know, these guys, not all of them, but certainly lots of them, they fund youth programs and EYBL teams. You know, when I go watch Team Thad at Peach Jam, I'm sitting on the front row right behind the Team Thad bench, sitting right here next to me. Thaddeus Young. So you invest your money and your time in these young people. You get to know them. You could, in theory, start to play a role in their recruitment. Like, it's not crazy to think Damian Lillard could meet somebody along the way through youth basketball and then help funnel them to Weber State if that's where he thought the best place for them to go is, and actually put his money behind it if need be. So I don't know that it's any of the stuff the people who are waving pom-poms connected to it say that it is, but it's big stars connected to college basketball programs, in this case, a mid-major one. And we always want stuff like this to be a reality. Like, I think one of the things people loved about Penny Hardaway is that he never really forgot where he was from.
Right. He was always connected to the program.
He was always
in some
connected
way.
to the University of Memphis in some way. And he always came back here in the off seasons, and he was always visible at Tiger games, even before he was the coach. Like, he's very proud of where he went to school, very proud of his hometown. And I think that makes it easier for people here to root for him. We want people to stay connected, to, quote, not forget where they came from. And here's an example of Damian Lillard just adding something else to his schedule to be connected to his alma mater. He could have left Weber State far behind if he wanted to. But he's still trying to make a difference in some way, still being connected to his alma mater in some way. And, I would prefer that than the alternative. So I'll chalk it up as a good story. And he's always seemed to like have some quality stuff to him. I got to know him a little bit back when he was in college. I've told this story before, but there was an assistant coach at Weber State that I had met, like, however you meet people, out on the grassroots circuit at some point. You just end up in a gym, you sit next to somebody, and you're like, "Oh, hey, I'm Gary Parrish," and then somebody's like, "Yeah, I'm so-and-so, I work here," and whatever, and you exchange numbers, and you say things like, "If I can ever help you with something," and then you never, then you send a text, and they send a text, and then you never talk to each other again. That's the way these things didn't happen. So, if I'm being honest, I don't even remember meeting this person in any sort of real way, but I remember getting a text message at some point, and it was like, "Hey, GP, so-and-so from Weber State, we met at wherever. If you got a second, can we, just want to bounce something off of you?" Sure, I got a second. And it was very early in what ended up being Damian Lillard's final year of college basketball. And I'm just on a conversation with an assistant from Weber State, and he says, "I would never bother you with this if I didn't think it was real. And I don't want to be the mid-major coach hitting you up talking about we got a pro. But I think we've got a pro. I think we've got somebody who's special. And nobody's really written about him. Nobody really talks about him. But
I think in 5 months, everybody's going to be talking about him. And I'd love to connect you guys if could. Oh, yeah. Who's the player? Damian Lillard. That's who it was. I think I did the first ever national story on Damian Lillard. And I did that story, and as the season progressed, then he starts popping up on mock drafts.
Yep.
But he's always I don't know. I just sort of kept in touch with him throughout that time. I haven't talked to him in years. If we saw each other, we wouldn't even recognize each other probably. But in that time, I kept in touch with him a little bit. And he just always struck me as an interesting guy. Seemed to have some substance to him. Seemed to be more than just your stereotypical basketball player, whatever that means. And so I've always been impressed by him, sort of the way he carried himself. And here's another aspect of that. I don't know exactly what this will mean for Weber State, but he's given back time and I assume money. And I think it's reasonable to expect the program to benefit from it in some way. So congratulations to them. And we'll see what NBA star does something like this next.
Number 3.
Former UFC rivals Conor McGregor and Khabib are back in the news. After Khabib was speaking in New York this weekend, was asked specifically about Conor McGregor because is it true those two UFC stars are most closely, if they're connected to anybody, probably closely connected to each other?
Yeah, I mean, I think so just because how ugly it got. Yeah. I mean, they're not connected as far as wins, losses because Khabib beat him twice.
Right. But
yeah.
in terms of, I'm just aware of both of these people in a way that I am not aware of even UFC champions.
Yep.
I remember them being a big deal.
Yes, that was huge. That
in boxing, we would get Hagler Hearns or Pacquiao Mayweather or Tyson Holyfield.
Yep.
And in UFC, you got this. It felt like. And so Khabib was asked about him this weekend. You know what he said? Hey, you seen Conor McGregor seems to have had ups and downs. Life's a bit of a roller coaster.
He's running for president of Ireland.
Hadn't fought in a while.
Yeah.
Been accused of some pretty ugly stuff here and there. Seems like he's always on the verge of getting into a fight in a bar somewhere. What do you think's going on with your old rival's life? And here's what he said. He said, quote, "This is punishment. But the most beautiful part of this is Allah always gives the chance to come back. I think he has a chance, but he has to change how he is living. Now, why am I talking about this? If he's going to change, he can change with him so many other lives too. That's why I wish him to change himself. If he's not going to change, it will be punishment all of his life." Habib put it down pretty clear. You either change the way you're living or you will be punished for the rest of your life.
Okay.
That's a hell of a thing to hear from your rival.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised that he's I mean, Conor, I believe, did call him a terrorist once upon a time. So, yeah, I think there's definitely no love lost there. But
he says, I want him to change. He says, I want good things for Conor McGregor because good things for Conor McGregor might lead to good things for other people. He could be a positive influence in this world. Instead, he continues to flaunt his ungodly lifestyle in the face of Allah. I'm making that part up, but that's what it felt like to me.
I think as far as the tea leaves of him coming back, I don't think he's ever going to come back and fight again.
Explain that to me. This guy is the best in the world, still young at the time. He hasn't fought since 2020.
Yeah. How old is he? 37?
He's 36 now. So he was 31. I'm talking about Habib was 31.
Oh, no, I think him leaving is lame, and it's why I don't like him.
You have issues.
Yeah, because, I mean, something can be said, I guess, about going out on top. But, dude, you were at, the peak of your powers, and people cared. People would have watched your fights. I don't know.
His mother asked him to retire. His mother said, I don't want you to do this anymore.
That's fine. I kind of don't. I just don't respect him
you
for
think you
retiring.
Don't respect him for obeying his mother. You've reached a point in your life where you don't respect men who obey their mothers. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't. I think
his father passed. His father was not only his father, but also his coach. His father passed. And shortly after that, his mother said, I don't want you to do this anymore. And he's respecting his mother's wishes.
Okay.
You don't respect a man who respects his mother's wishes. That's interesting.
Not in this situation.
Would you like your sons to respect their mother's wishes someday?
I would.
Okay, so you hold your children to different standards.
Probably so.
Interesting.
Yep, probably so. No, I think it's lame that he hung it up so early. Now, Connor, I do not think he will ever fight again either.
He got back in the testing protocol.
Yeah, I think it's all just for show. If he does fight, he's going to fight a scrub that he can easily beat. There's no way he's going to he's going to come back after all this time and take another loss.
He hasn't won in more than 5 years.
Yeah, he is not going to, if he does ever come back, he will not do some big fight against a big name. He will fight a scrub or someone who is like so far like past their prime that just, yeah.
But isn't he the type that could headline a UFC event against anybody? Put him in there with a bomb.
And it would be huge. Yes.
So why don't they just put him in there with a bomb and let him sell tickets? Because here's the thing: as fight fans, we are suckers. Like we all watched Mike Tyson last year. All right, we're idiots.
Yep.
We'll believe it if you just give us any reason to believe it. So here's what you do. Not that I need to run UFC, but you put him in there with a bomb. Let him promo it, look good. He can look good. These guys can still look good. They just can't fight anymore.
Right.
Get him look good. Put him in there with a bomb. Let him win. Put him in there with another bomb. Let him win. And then give him the big fight. And he'll get his brains beat in that one.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll make $100 million in between. And you'll sell out arenas in between. Why do I need to run UFC?
Yeah, I mean,
but you're right. You can't put it. He's 1-4. He's 1-3 in his last 4 UFC fights. You count the Mayweather boxing match, he's 1-4 in his past 5 competitions. You cannot put him in there with anybody legitimate anymore.
No, he will get worked.
My point is, what you can do is put him in there with a bomb, and we won't care.
Right.
This is the Jake Paul thing.
Yeah.
This is the Mike. Like, we don't care. We just want to see him.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to see him. Like, if you could promise somebody you could put Mike Tyson in a ring tomorrow and Mike Tyson would knock him out in 3 rounds and it would look good, people would watch that.
Yes.
Just because people want to see it because we're weird. So you can still sell Conor McGregor. You just have to sell it the right way. You can't put him in there with real people.
Right.
But we would all watch if Conor McGregor were fighting Saturday night against a bum, we would all watch that.
You know, I think like obviously the lifestyle that he lives, I think I don't know if he can just like do nothing forever. Like I think that he will probably have to do something to have a big payday at some point. And, you know, it looked like he might get into the acting, but I'm not sure how far that's even going. I mean, he was in that Roadhouse movie, but besides that, I don't think he's really doing anything. And so
there seems to be a volatile character.
Well, there was hints of him maybe going to WWE after UFC one day. I think that's kind of died down. So yes, he's all over the place, right? Like he's kind of a loose cannon, and so you never know what his mood's going to be. So maybe he does do some kind of just.
I think he fights again, and he fights again.
Just some nothing fight.
It's a nothing fight. Here's what will happen. He will announce he's fighting again. He'll do something in the lead up to get a bunch of big headlines.
Yep.
We will all watch it. We will all say it sucked. But we will all watch it.
Mm-hmm. I think that's probably true. I could see it. And
this other fella, he's just going to keep obeying his mom, I guess.
Yeah. No, I don't think we'll ever see Khabib. Well, he's still involved. You know, he's got a lot of guys that fight. Like that train with him and stuff that are all good. And wherever his gym is, they've put quite a few guys in the UFC. Like he's still very much involved. He just ain't
I'm
fighting.
Fascinated by that mindset. You can be the best in the world at something, be awesome at it, beat the person everybody wants to be the best in the world, just beat his brains in twice, and then just walk away.
I know.
And just be like,
I don't like it. That's what I'm saying. Like we missed out on some good stuff because he retired.
If I ever found something I was good at, I'd never stop doing it. I just can't find anything I'm good at.
Yeah.
Imagine being that great at that and then just walking away from it.
Randy just made a great point because Conor was posting about this. They're doing that huge UFC fight at the White House next year. That seems like a perfect opportunity for him to fight some nobody, because it's just like, it's going to be more about just like, it's UFC on the lawn of the White House. Like the stakes won't be as high in a Conor fight. I don't think. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
It'd be like a co-main event. The main event will be something awesome, and then right underneath it'll be Conor versus a scrub. I think you're right, Reed. I think that makes a lot of sense.
It's hilarious. We're talking about UFC fights at the White House.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
I might order it. I probably will order it.
I mean, we probably will.
I like the UFC a lot.
I don't love it that much.
I really enjoy it. Now, I don't order all the fights because they're very expensive, and so it's really got to be. But like, I'll watch like the free ones, the fight nights on ESPN.
There are times where it's a UFC pay-per-view night, and I'm like, all right, Mets game's over.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are asleep. Should I just order this? It feels like everybody else is watching, and then I just go, no, I'm just gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'll miss anything, and then I rarely feel like I missed anything. I rarely wake up the next day and be like, man, I wish I would have ordered that.
Mm-hmm.
It never fills me with regret. I don't get filled with regret too much when it comes to UFC.
It's hit or miss for sure, but like they'll have some good cards. I'd say like 2-3 times a year they'll have some really good ones. Yeah,
I still lean more towards big. I'd rather take in the big boxing event than the big UFC event. I know I'm in the minority and old, so that's probably the explanation for that. But like, we're about to get a big one on Netflix, Canelo and Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, that's right. And
I love that
they're
that's going to be
advertising it during Mania.
I love that that's going to be on Netflix as opposed to traditional pay-per-view.
Yeah,
because like,
then everybody will care.
Tens of millions of people who would just never pay $75 to watch a boxing match will be like, these are two of the best in the world. And it's free on Netflix. We already got Netflix. Let's watch it. Like, that's going to be incredible for Bud Crawford, for Canelo, but for boxing in general. Like, I'm making that available on Netflix as opposed to traditional pay-per-view. So I still lean toward, I like a good boxing event more than a big UFC event. But I know I'm in the minority. Anyway, enough about those fellas.
Number 3.
Oh, wait.
Number 4.
Wow. Julio Rodriguez, Seattle Mariners star, made history this weekend. Do you know what he did? Are you familiar with this? I love it when people do stuff like this. We've been playing baseball for a long time. Julio Rodriguez this weekend homered, got his 20th homer of the season, and stole his 21st base of the season. Neither of these things are going to put him in the MVP conversation, but he is now officially the first player in the history of Major League Baseball to hit at least 20 homers and steal at least 20 bases in his first 4 seasons in the big leagues. 2022, 23, 24, and now 25. Nobody had ever done that before, Bennett. Not Barry Bonds.
How about that?
Not Barry Bonds. Not Jose Canseco. Not any of the people you remember being 30 stars or 40 stars. Nobody had ever done 20 first 4 years out of the gates. But Julio Rodriguez has. And how many people you think listening right now to us watching have any idea who that is, Julio Rodriguez?
I would say 30%.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even that.
Yeah.
Not even that.
I actually watched when it happened.
You were watching?
Yeah, I had a little money on what do they call what do they call him?
Big dumper.
Big dumper. That's better. I said
big
bubble
dumper.
butt. Yeah,
Because he has a gigantic ass.
I was invested
It's a
in
big ass.
Big dumper a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, you've invested in the big dumper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got my little group of guys that
Okay.
I'm riding with them all season.
Well,
yeah.
I wish you luck. I thought this was interesting because Julio Rodriguez is a baseball star. And yet I think even most people who call themselves Braves fans, Mets fans, Cardinals fans, Cubs fans, Yankees fans, you probably aren't that, you don't watch him play a lot because we've talked about this. Baseball, you kind of watch your team. And you don't really watch other teams unless they're playing your team.
Yeah.
And so stuff happening in the AL West is going to be off of NL East fans. But I don't know if you saw the Braves and Reds were playing in Bristol this weekend. Apparently the weather was real bad and it got crazy and it was not good. But in the context of that game, the announcing crew got into a conversation that I saw circulating on social media about Ellie De La Cruz. Now, this is somebody I've talked to you about before because I noticed with my little guy, just one day I picked up his iPad, and his iPad screen cover had always been Pete Alonso or Francisco Lindor or, And suddenly it was Ellie De La Cruz. I'm like, where is this coming from? And I just remember being out at like 7-year-old baseball practice, and I was talking to kids. This would have been last summer. And I'd be like, who's your favorite baseball player? Who's your favorite baseball player? And you would get, some Aaron Judges.
Mm-hmm.
You get some Austin Rileys, given where we live. But most people were Ellie De La Cruz. And I was like, this is a baseball player, plays for the Reds in Cincinnati. How do these kids even know who he is? And it's all YouTube, TikTok, incredible. Because Ellie De La Cruz, he looks the coolest. And he hits it the farthest. And he throws it the hardest. And he runs the fastest. He's got the chains. He's got the hair. He's the coolest. He's what all the kids want to be. Like, my kid wants to be Ellie De La Cruz. And in the context of this Braves-Reds game at Bristol, the commentators were like, and here's the problem. Nobody sees him play. Like, our kids see him on YouTube. But adults who are, like, watching baseball, we don't see him because he's never on Sunday Night Baseball.
Right.
He's never it's just never in your face. And the Julio Rodriguez thing is the same thing. Like, they really do have young, incredible baseball stars. And they kind of can reach our kids through their iPads, but they're not connecting with mainstream America in any real way. In other words, if you had a fourth-year NBA player who had just done something that no NBA player had ever done in the history of the NBA, it would be impossible for you not to be aware of that person. You just would be. It would just be in your world. The same way Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are in your world. But a fourth-year Major League Baseball player doing something that's never been done, you might not even know about this unless I just brought it up. And Ellie De La Cruz. If your kids care about baseball at all or have iPads, they probably are aware that that is a person. But have they ever turned on a television and actually watched him play a baseball game? Maybe not. Like, honestly, we keep Mets games on in our house all the time. But when the Mets aren't playing, if we're just going to put a baseball game on a screen, I'll throw on the Reds. Just because I know my kids will be like, there's Ellie De La Cruz, just made a play, just made a throw, just hit a home run 500 feet. But it's not as visible as it needs to be. So there's a chance that the Reds could be in the playoffs this year, which would be great for the Ellie De La Cruz brand. And also the Mariners are in the wild card race right now.
Yep.
And so we could resolve a little bit of this in the postseason. But one of the big things connected to Mike Trout, he was the face of baseball for years, or at least recognized as the best baseball player for years, but we never saw him play because he's out on the West Coast and never in the playoffs. Julio Rodriguez, out on the West Coast, rarely in the playoffs. This is year 4 for him. He's played 5 total postseason games, 5 total. That's not enough. So hopefully this stuff starts to change because there's interesting young talents in baseball. They're just not on the TV very often, and that's at least somewhat of a problem.
Number 5.
First ever 2-night SummerSlam was held this weekend at MetLife Stadium in the shadows of New York City. Did you consume? What did you think?
I thought it was really good. I watched both nights, and I'll be honest, man, they got over on me. Like, I saw some people saying of course talking about the title match night 1 with
Seth Rollins comes out
with Rollins coming out and cashing in Money in the Bank and ditching
so people
his
don't
crutches.
know, and for people who I know most of you don't care, but like CM Punk defeats Gunther to win the championship, one of the world titles, and then Seth Rollins cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase. It was believed that he was injured.
Dude, I bought it.
We talked about it.
I saw some people being like, it's so predictable. And I'm like, why?
I did see some people predict it. I did see some people, but I didn't. I didn't.
No,
I didn't see it
because
coming.
again, like they did such a good job with the opening it with, they had Roman and Jey Uso do the tag match with Braun Breaker and Big Bronson. And I was like, they clearly had to pivot because Rollins got hurt, and this was originally supposed to be Rollins and Roman having some kind of beef, and it all got thrown for a loop because Rollins hurt his knee. Dude, there was even videos of Rollins with his family going for a walk, just that like people recorded, and he's on the crutches. Like he was really, in his everyday life acting like he was hurt.
Yes.
And so he comes out, and the cool thing about it was he comes out and it just looks like that he's like, I'll be back. Don't you worry. I'll be back. Like he's kind of like yelling that at CM Punk, like bide your time because I'm coming for that title. And then he ditches the crutches, goes in the ring, hits him with the briefcase, cashes in, and steals the title for CM Punk. I thought it was great storytelling, and like I think it sets up. I would be I would assume that this is a beef that lasts for a while, probably going to like WrestleMania next year. Like I could see Rollins and CM Punk for the title at Mania,
Of course.
right? And those guys, like, I'm sure that it's like that they have a good working relationship. They did not like each other in real life for a long time.
Right.
So it's kind of fun that the lines are blurred a little bit. I thought it was great. I thought they did a great job with that.
We had it on. Yeah, like it got me. I was somebody, I never try to talk about this stuff too seriously because you start sounding stupid. But I was like, yeah, I guess he's really hurt.
Yeah.
And I guess they're having to pivot. And so once I believe he's really hurt, I don't expect that to happen. So they got me. I thought that was good. If I'm going to say things sometimes like I've lost my interest or I don't really care anymore or I don't understand this or why they're doing this, I should be able to say what I'm about to say, which is suddenly I'm more interested in watching tonight than I was heading into the weekend because where do they take that from here?
Right. I love CM Punk. I thought that match was awesome between him and Gunther.
Yeah,
that was a great match.
So I was telling Jess earlier, like this is where you really start to test your relationship.
Yeah.
Because, on some level, we were watching wrestling on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
And then we'll turn it on again tonight.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you got to really test your relationship.
Yeah. And then yesterday, I thought pretty much the entire card was good. Like it was just a really good show the whole way yesterday. I thought they kicked it off great with the women's match. You get a star coming out like Rhea to kick the thing off.
All right, I do have a complaint here.
Yeah, what?
All right, Roman Reigns is the biggest star on the men's side.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley is the biggest star on the women's side, at least in my opinion. Those are the two. They get the biggest pops.
Yep.
Neither one's had a title in more than a year. Is that a flaw in the system?
Maybe so. I think Roman, and the rumor is Roman's about to take another break to go film a movie.
I don't like it.
Yeah. He's about to take another break.
I like my OTC in the building.
Yeah. So I don't love that. I'm surprised Rhea Ripley didn't get the title yesterday. I'm really surprised by that. Roman obviously wasn't in a title match, but
right.
I'm really surprised Rhea Ripley didn't get the title there.
Nothing against Naomi.
No, nothing against Naomi. She's great.
Nothing against Naomi. She's great. But it just seems like I do look up at some point and I go, Rhea Ripley's clearly your biggest star.
Yes.
Roman Reigns is clearly your biggest star. Neither one of them have titles. Seems like maybe that ain't the way it ought to be.
Right.
Of course, night two, the big surprise was Brock Lesnar is back. Got any problem with Brock Lesnar back? You love Brock Lesnar?
I wouldn't say I love Brock Lesnar.
No, go ahead and say it. Let's see how comfortable you can get with this.
I'm not outraged. don't worry.
Here's the thing.
I don't care. I'm glad that he's back. I think that it makes a lot of sense because Cena's only got a little bit. I think he's got only a handful of appearances left. And this makes sense that this is going to be his final opponent, right? They've had a long history.
I guess I don't care about
kind
it
of
at
the
all.
same era. And so I think it makes a lot of
It's
sense.
like I was telling Jessica, my wrestling fandom, whatever that means, was like from the age of 4 through like college.
Yeah.
And then I was out probably until about 5 years ago. Like whatever happened, it just happened without me knowing. I just wrestling was happening. I wasn't watching, wasn't following it, nothing. And then like during the pandemic or around that time, my kids started watching. And then I was like, this is neat. It's something that we can watch together.
Mm-hmm.
And we have done that for years and still do it. But like they have lost a little bit of interest in it, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
I have to kind of rally them to watch.
Yeah.
As opposed to them pull me in that direction now. My point is this. Whenever John Cena became a big thing, whenever Brock Lesnar became a big thing, those all happened in times where I was not watching.
Yep.
So I have no appreciation for this. I could go back and read about it or watch some old stuff if I have time or care enough, which I think. But like when I see John Cena, it doesn't take me. Same thing with The Rock. I don't have that connection with The Rock. I know like with some people, The Rock is their Hulk Hogan. And so when The Rock comes back, it's like, I don't have that connection. When The Rock became a big thing, I wasn't watching wrestling. So it doesn't mean anything to me. Brock Lesnar coming back doesn't mean anything to me. The John Cena Brock Lesnar thing going forward doesn't mean anything to me. I am interested in the decision to bring back Brock Lesnar. If only because I think it is a byproduct of where we are as a country. Like I talked to Jess about this morning. because immediately when this happens last night, I go into Twitter and I'm like, Brock Lesnar, let's just see what people are saying. And some people are disgusted, and some people are excited, and everything in between. For people who don't know, huge wrestling star, forever, was a part of a lawsuit filed by a former WWE employee, a woman, who has alleged some pretty awful stuff. Connected to Vince McMahon, other various WWE employees. And Brock Lesnar's name got attached to this a few years ago in an amended lawsuit. Basically, this woman claims, and there's no reason not to believe her as far as I know, but claims that she was basically part of the negotiation between WWE, Vince McMahon, and Brock Lesnar. Like she was being offered to Brock Lesnar. And it's, it's just ugly stuff. So when these allegations first surface in this lawsuit, it's like immediate. Like Brock Lesnar's out of whatever premium live event was up next. If I remember correctly, it was like this lawsuit popped and like they're supposed to have wrestling the next day or two. What are they going to do with Brock Lesnar? And he was just left off. I want to say it was like a Royal Rumble, but I don't know that. At least I don't remember it correctly or vividly. But I just remember that was a thing. Is Brock Lesnar going to be here? And it was like, nope, he's not. And he just never has been. He's just been gone for like 2 years. And so they bring him back last night for the first time. Cody Rhodes defeats John Cena to win this championship belt back. John Cena turns face again, is having this moment with the crowd. And then boom, here comes Brock Lesnar. Right. Place goes nuts, whatever. What I find most interesting about it is that I don't think it could have happened 2 years ago. It might not be able to happen 2 years from now, depending on where we are as a country then. But it can happen right now because it's very much a statement about where we are as a country, for better or worse. I'm not preaching to you here. I'm just speaking factually. Like, we live in a country where the President of the United States has been accused of many awful things. Broadly speaking, America doesn't seem to care. This country elected him president, right? The Secretary of Defense has been accused of some pretty awful things. Broadly speaking, the American public doesn't seem to care. I mean, you'll get a congressman, a congresswoman, activist, some people pop up on social media. Broadly speaking, like, these people are in positions of power. I don't think it's hard to understand how we went from Shane Gillis said these things, he can't work at SNL. Fast forward a little bit in our country, Shane Gillis said these things. Oh man, can he host SNL? Can he host the ESPYs? We went from a place in the past decade. Barstool Sports can't have those guys on network television, fired after one episode in ESPN. Barstool Sports, bring them all to Fox Sports now. Fox, big TV, let's make Dave Portnoy the face of everything. I'm not saying whether this is right or wrong. I'm just saying this is how much the country has changed. A few years ago, you didn't want Dave Portnoy close to network television. Now you want him all over it. Shane Gillis literally got fired from SNL. Now he hosts SNL. In a different time, different politicians, I mean, you'd have to resign for any of 5 things that President Trump has been accused of. As a candidate, they would make you withdraw from the race. As an elected official, they would ask you to resign. Now we don't even blink. Just broadly speaking, America doesn't care about this stuff anymore. What do you make of that?
I think
Brock Lesnar's
right,
been accused of some serious stuff, and he was just brought back as the face of night 2 of the biggest SummerSlam in history. And I believe that is a byproduct of America as a society basically saying, we just don't care. I know some people care. I'm not doubting anybody's sincerity. I'm just saying we've reached a point as a country where most people don't seem bothered by this type of stuff anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think, with like his, who were we talking about last week where this kind of got brought up? How, like, for me, I can separate, he may be a questionable guy. He's not a criminal. At least it appears that this is, he's not a criminal. Maybe he's not a great dude, but he's not a criminal. And
I think the pendulum has swung on all this stuff.
Yeah. And so I don't have a problem with him coming back. No, I can separate like things that I find entertaining and would I like be friends with that person on a personal level?
Yeah.
I can separate the two because I think you just go down this like crazy rabbit hole. Like when you try to make people that you have looked up to that are famous or musicians, whatever. I think it's just a weird line to try to straddle.
Well, you're gonna have a hard time staying consistent with it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You're gonna have a hard time staying consistent with it. If you're like Brock Lesnar shouldn't be on television because he did this thing, allegedly, like once that's the standard, good luck turning on your television again.
Right.
And though we used to be at a place where that really is where people put their foot down. This guy's a bad person, cancel them.
Mm-hmm.
This woman's a bad person, cancel her. This woman or man or somebody said something they shouldn't have said or did something they shouldn't have done. Was it criminal? Well, not quite. Was it in poor taste? Yes, absolutely. Cancel them. Be done with them. Never see them again. Like we lived through that. And the pendulum from that has now swung the other direction, where not only now do you not get canceled for the things you would get canceled for 3 or 4 years ago, it might actually elevate your career. It might actually take you to a place bigger and better than you ever otherwise would have been. It's just sort of an interesting time to be living through. We've talked about this before. I think so much is happening right now that we as people, because we distract ourselves with, movies and CEO affairs and anything else that pops across our phones. I don't think most of us properly grasp just how bananas, like what's happening in this country right now is not normal stuff. And we'll look back on it, like the history books they'll have a better grasp for what's happening right now than we do in real time. But it is so clear to me that the collective perspective of America is just wildly different than it used to be. And in its own little way, the Brock Lesnar thing last night is a reflection of that. To be clear, I'm just never going to be the guy that offended by somebody popping up on a wrestling show.
Same.
Like I got other things to worry about. There are more important things than who's popping up at the end of a wrestling show.
Yeah.
I mean, go through the history of professional wrestling.
Right.
These guys aren't always the best guys.
Right.
All right. So I'm just not going to be outraged by somebody popping up on a wrestling show. But if you were trying to figure out how they went from we are too uncomfortable with Brock Lesnar, we have to remove him from our world abruptly and immediately. If you're trying to understand how we went from that to what if we made Brock Lesnar the biggest star of night 2 of SummerSlam? Well, this is how. It's our country changing. The way these things tend to work, they'll slide back the other way at some point. Because when pendulums start moving, we tend to go too far in both directions. And going too far in one direction is how you get too far in the other direction. And eventually, hopefully, you settle in somewhere in here, and we'll get there. But what we're watching right now, all of this stuff is, I think, very connected. Shane Gillis hosting the ESPYs. And I shouldn't even bring... Shane Gillis just says jokes that some people don't like sometimes. I shouldn't be associating him with people who are more problematic in tangible ways. My point is a simpler point. There are multiple people who were told in recent years, because of this thing you said or because of this thing you've done, we cannot allow you to be attached to this big network thing. Because people like you, we can't be in business with people like you anymore. There are plenty of examples of how much that has changed in just the past few years. Men who used to be told you're too problematic to be in business with are now the faces of stuff. And that's a reflection of America. Whether we get back the other direction at some point, we'll see. But what you watched last night on SummerSlam, not to make it out to be more than what it is, but that is what it is. That is them deciding a few years ago in a different climate, this guy couldn't be anywhere close to our business. But now, look around. America's a different place right now. And I bet you most people won't be bothered by it. Be back with GP's Carryout.
going through the draft process the first time, they give you the answers to the test. Like, this is what you need to work on. This is what you do well.
They told you.
Yeah, like they tell you.
Here's what, if you want to get drafted, here's what needs to happen.
Yeah, they tell you. So it's like, if you're not listening, it'll go right over your head. But for me, I made sure to soak up all information and everything possible so I can give myself the best shot.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board. A class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
The NBA announced their dunk of the year yesterday. It was voted on by the fans, and it went to Ja Morant for his double clutch through Porzingis and Derek White. The call of it was excellent. That game we hung on to for a long time last season, but it was a spectacular dunk.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The FedEx St. Jude Championship at TPC Southwind, first of the 3 playoff events.
Watch me take flight. It's a different sight when you take it to this height. And you know this, we them boys step into the wars, ready give me my awards. I got starstruck, I got nothing to lose, so I'm letting it loose. Out here paying my dues, I got starstruck.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
Well, since I've been talking to you over the past hour, we did get a headline college football. The coaches poll, preseason, is out.
Okay.
You want to take a guess at who's number one?
I'm going to say number one is your Ohio State Buckeyes.
Number two, actually. They did get 21st place votes. The Buckeyes did,
Okay.
but finished second in the coaches poll behind number one, Texas.
Oh, okay. Arch.
28 first place
Yeah.
votes for Texas, led, of course, by Arch Manning, which means on Saturday, August 30th, it's now official, at least according to the coaches poll, at 11 a.m. Central on Fox. It's going to be number one, Texas. At number two, Ohio State.
Well, that's a nice way to start the season.
Like the best.
That's pretty good.
The best. And this is, I think, on some level, a byproduct of the expanded college football playoff.
Yeah.
If this was still just a 2-team BCS or 4-team playoff, you might be hesitant if you're Texas or Ohio State to play a game of this magnitude, because somebody's got to lose it. You might really be the 2 best teams in the country, according to the coaches poll you are. Somebody's got to lose this. And then if you slip up anywhere else along the way, you're a 2-loss team, and there's probably an undefeated team out there, and somebody's going to say, how do you take a 2-loss team over an undefeated team, even if we think the 2-loss team is better than the undefeated team? And so you can't put yourself at risk in the final days of August. You don't want to start 0-1. Like, I get all of that. But with an expanded playoff, it's like you've got a little wiggle room.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they could be 1-2 heading into this game, no matter what happens. Could be 1-2 heading out of this game.
So there's just less risk involved, which creates more enthusiasm for making these types of games. And now on that first big Saturday of college football, oh man, we're going to kick it off as good as you can do. The reigning national like this is as good as you can get. Like if I were a television executive, this is heaven. Most important thing, big brands. Hard to find bigger brands than Ohio State and Texas. Like I can just tell you, as somebody who talks to bosses who make, like Ohio State, one of the biggest brands. Just like put anything Ohio State on television, it does well. Big brands, Ohio State and Texas, two of the biggest brands, right? All right, check, got that. What else we need? Are they going to be good? All right, they're big brands, but are they good? Preseason number 1, preseason number 2. Okay, sounds great. What else? Well, one of them is the reigning national champion. Oh, wow. Ohio State, huh? Yeah. Coming off championship. Yeah. First game since then? Yep. Okay. This is awesome. What about the other side? Anything interesting there? Oh, just Peyton and Eli's nephew, Arch Manning, making the first big high-profile start of his career. He's also the Heisman Trophy favorite. All right. Like, what else do you need to make an awesome college football game?
That's it.
I mean, you got it all. Big brands, national rankings, stars, history, everything. And again, coaches poll now out. We know it'll be number 1 Texas against number 2 Ohio State, 11 a.m., August 30th, Fox. And if you're trying to get tickets, I know you're not, but it's just sort of interesting. What do you think the cheapest ticket right now? We're still roughly a month out. I'm talking about the worst seat in Ohio State's football stadium. The worst ticket. You want to buy one. There's 102,780 seats. I'm willing to sell you the worst one in there. There's more than 100,000. I'm going to sell you the worst. How much do you think it cost?
$200.
$337.
Damn.
The worst ticket is $337. If you want to get down there close to the 50, buddy. I mean, I'm looking at it now. It's lower level at Ohio Stadium, $2,000, $3,000. Huge game. Huge game. So, coaches poll out right now. You can go check it out if you want to. If you're interested, the University of Memphis did get 34 votes in the coaches poll. That would put them 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34th in the country. Okay.
What's today's biggest game?
Okay, Bennett. I don't know if you've been following, but the WNBA, we're out tonight. No games tonight.
Okay.
All right. We don't have NFL preseason tonight.
No.
So and I don't believe we have MLS tonight. So I'm taking you to baseball.
All right.
And I'm taking you to PNC Park in Pittsburgh. And not for reasons that have anything to do with the game. It's Giants Pirates. Who cares? Justin Verlander on the mound. Have you been paying attention to Justin Verlander?
No.
Oh, he's struggling.
I was going to say the Giants aren't very good.
Neither is he. Giants are 56 and 56. Verlander 1-8 with a 4.53 ERA. Oh, father time comes for all of us, doesn't it, Bennett? Father time comes for all of us. Justin Verlander, multi-time Cy Young Award winner, husband of Kate Upton. Seems to be in what might go down as the last season of his major league career. He's in a slight favorite tonight, though, because the Pirates stink 48 and 64. Verlander, Giants minus 130. You get the Pirates at plus 110. First pitch 540. How you going to act?
I'll take the Pirates one. I'll take the Giants.
You gonna ride with Justin Verlander?
Yeah, I don't feel great about it, but I'll take the Giants. I'll just go with the favorite.
Bennett says he doesn't care about the aging Justin Verlander. It's still the Pirates on the other side. Take the Giants minus 130. First pitch 540.
What are we watching on TV?
I guess it's got to be Raw on Netflix, right? We got to see what happens.
I will be watching.
But man, you got to really. Do you have to test your relationship in your home? I feel like this puts it's a burden on my relationship. My wife will walk around and she's pretty patient with the wrestling at our house. She's pretty patient. But every once in a while I can see her looking at me like, we really watching wrestling again tonight? Like I don't even think she understands that we got to deal with Raw tonight. I think she thinks last night was the end of it.
Yeah.
But when you get in these 2-night premium live events, and you go Friday Night SmackDown, Saturday SummerSlam, Sunday SummerSlam, and then a Monday Raw, that's a lot. It's a lot for anybody. I feel like I'm really asking a lot of my family.
Mm-hmm.
You ever feel like you're asking a lot of your family?
Sure. I mean, what I'll probably do is like start it, 30 minutes, an hour late. I probably won't be there right when we start.
I like to be there right when we start.
Yeah, I get that. I got to pick and choose.
It is funny. Like I watch her sort of consume this stuff. It's just around her.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't follow it on a day-to-day.
Mm-hmm.
But she just sees so much of it because it's on her. So this was funny to me. Just the other day we were sitting there. I guess it was maybe Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And she just notices that CM Punk and Gunther are in the ring. She's not paying attention. She just sort of looks up and she sort of sees who's in the ring. And this is what she said to me. She said, so what's Gunther been up to? I just thought it was funny that she asked me what Gunther's been up to. Like he was my friend.
Yeah.
like he's somebody I work with.
I think
it'd be like, hey, what's Bennett been up to? She asked me like that, but except it was about Gunther. Oh, hey, Gunther, what's he been up to? I was like, he's been doing okay.
He's been treated a little unfair, I think.
I think he's been treated a little unfairly.
Yeah. I would keep him in the main event stratosphere. I think he's great. I don't love that they keep taking his title from him. Like, I think he's a really good wrestler and pretty good on the mic, too. Like, he's gotten really good. I would not bury Gunther. I think Gunther should be here to stay.
Can't bury Gunther.
Yeah, and it was a great match. Like, it's...
So tonight we get to see what the... First off, I imagine it'll be Monday Night Rollins. I imagine Seth Rollins will open the thing.
It's got to be.
Doesn't he have to open it?
He's got to open it, yes.
And then does Brock Lesnar make an appearance?
That one I wonder just because like I don't know. Well, was Cena scheduled to be at Raw? Do we know if Cena's scheduled to be there? Is this one of his last appearances?
I don't know.
I'll say Rollins for sure. I'm not so sure about Cena and Brock.
So we're gonna turn it on. We're gonna turn it on and we're gonna see how things go. We're gonna turn it on and we're gonna see how things go. And if you have to turn it off at some point and then watch it after everybody's asleep, then you everybody can figure it out in their own houses however they want to figure it out, right? We'll do our best. We're going to do our best. 7 o'clock on Netflix.
What's the best thing we've read?
Interesting story by Brad Crawford over at CBSSports.com. Here's the headline. Aaron Rodgers impressed by Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith as his flexibility with new look offense. Arthur Smith, of course, Memphis own. Arthur Smith. Son of Frederick Smith.
Yes.
So I like any time to hear nice things about Memphians. And here's a nice thing written about Memphian Arthur Smith, offensive coordinator of the Steelers now. So if you haven't read that yet, you can find it. It's on the homepage, CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's Tuesday, so we'll be one day closer to round one of the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Really looking forward to that and getting back out there. First round starts Thursday. Then we got Friday, Saturday. We'll crown a champion on Sunday. So we'll continue to get you ready for that. Looking forward to it. Should be a fun show. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy mine. And we'll meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.